All right, this weekend, it is the return of the female pound-for-pound greatest of all time, Amanda Nunes, a two-weight division champion, defending the bantamweight title against rising Mexican star Irene Aldana. That is for the bantamweight title. But in the co-main event, the people's main event, Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira. I am telling you, this fight is going to be ridiculous. And Charles Oliveira, the former champion, one of the most exciting fighters we've seen, making the return, trying to become a viable contender again. And Beneil Dariush, a man that has been overlooked, a submission specialist, great well-rounded skills on an 8-fight win streak. And he has been promised by the UFC, if he beats Charles Oliveira, he will be the next man to challenge Islam Makhachev, more than likely going down in Fight Island in October. So I'm going to go through the card. I'm going to give you some predictions. I'm going to tell you who wins the fight because my predictions are on the money. We'll see. We'll see about that. So Amanda Nunes, this will be her 12th consecutive title fight. I mean, that is ridiculous. But what that does, it tells you this woman knows all about dealing with the nerves, the big fight feels, and fighting the number one contender time after time. Listen, she lost the belt against Juliana Pena, okay? That was a bad night at the office. Okay, Pena beat her fair and square. Can't take anything away from her, but she rebounded in such style. She came out there and she almost finished Pena every single round. Okay, it's only the fact that Juliana Pena is so tough that she managed to make it to the final bell. But this fight's very different. Pena is a great wrestler. She's very, very tough, as I said a moment ago. She's a good wrestler. She hits hard, but she's a little bit sloppy. Irene Aldana, on the flip side, she's a different kettle of fish altogether. Aldana is a great boxer. And you know, look, listen, when Grasso defeated Shevchenko, she shocked the world. Nobody saw that coming, okay? And that's going to give Aldana a lot of confidence, okay? They train together. They've got a fantastic team down there. Mexican mixed martial arts is on the rise. We've got Alexa Grasso, we've got Brandon Moreno, and we could have Irene Aldana. Aldana is bigger. She's taller. She's longer. She's not as thick. She doesn't hit as hard, no way. But she moves well. Her balance is perfect. Her boxing stance is amazing. She's got beautiful footwork and nice straight shots. I think technically she might be the better boxer, but Amanda Nunes hits harder. So it's going to be power versus technique. It's going to be the bull versus the matador. Irene Aldana's got to dance around. She's got to use that reach, use that range, and stay away from those big power shots of Amanda Nunes. And I think she's got a very good chance of doing that. I really do. I think that Irene Aldana, I'm just going to throw it out there simply because Amanda Nunes, she's been there for so long, and maybe I'll eat my words, but I think Irene Aldana goes out there, shocks the world, and becomes, and new, the bantamweight champion of the world. So there's my pick in the main event. Now, the co-main event, I spoke to Beneil Dariush on the podcast recently. That interview was on this channel. Beneil Dariush, 8-fight win streak, okay? And he's beating better competition every time. But there's a big step up from the competition that he's beaten to going up against somebody like Charles Oliveira, okay? The people that Dariush is beating are Gamrot, Tony Ferguson, who with respect is on the slide, Carlos Diego Ferreira, a great fighter, Scott Holtzman, Drakkar Klose, Frank Camacho, Drew Dober, and Thiago Moises. All very, very solid fighters, but not somebody like a Charles Oliveira or a Michael Chandler or a Dustin Poirier or a Justin Gaethje. That is the people that Charles Oliveira was beating. So who wins this fight? Well, Oliveira is going to be hungry, okay? He wants to rectify the wrongs that he made in the Islam fight. And we know the way Oliveira fights. This is why when he was going through that insane run, 12 wins in a row, 11 finishes, the most submissions in the history of the UFC, and he doesn't give a damn. He walks people down. He's confident in his hands. He's got knockout power. In the clinch, he's got deadly Muay Thai, vicious knees and elbows, and on the ground, he can cinch up a submission just like that. But Dariush thinks that he has got the better jiu-jitsu.
I think if we competed, either 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times, I beat him in grappling.
And we've seen that on display many times. Dariush is a technician. He's got very, very good boxing. He's been training with Rafael Cordero for many years. The Thai boxing I'm talking about. And of course, the wrestling's great. The submission's great. Who wins the fight? I think Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil Dariush doesn't make as many mistakes, okay? He's very, very technical and he's calculated. Oliveira is so exciting because he does make mistakes. He's so excited because he's willing to take chances. He walks opponents down right from the opening bell, and I love it. I love it. That's what gets everyone out of the seats. And he takes shots. He gets dropped multiple times. But fighters don't follow him down because of the submission threat. Of course, Islam Makhachev did do that. Chandler didn't. Justin Gaethje didn't. Islam did. He got the submission. If Beneil Dariush can hurt him, if he can wobble him, you can bet your bottom dollar he will be diving on him straight away.
People are afraid of his grappling. I am not afraid of his grappling. I recognize how good it is, and I understand that there's danger in it, but I am not afraid of his grappling.
And that's my pick. I think he's got heavier downward pressure. I don't think he's got quite as slick or as fast or cinches up the submissions as quickly. He's not as quick to capitalize on mistakes that people make like Charles Oliveira, but he has a very good, technically proficient game in every aspect of mixed martial arts, and the confidence right now, riding an 8-fight win streak, and he feels overlooked. He feels like he's kind of like the Leon Edwards of the lightweight division. Leon was on a crazy streak, finally got the shot, became champion of the world, and now one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters that we have. Beneil Dariush is kind of on a similar path. Charles Oliveira, he's been there, he's done it, he's got the t-shirt, he's had the losses, he's been submitted, he's become the champion. Will he do that again? I think it's going to be an amazing fight, but my pick for that one is Beneil Dariush. All right, so that's the main and co-main. Before that, we have Mike Malott versus Adam Fugit. Mike Malott, this man's on a tear. You might not have heard of him if you're not a hardcore mixed martial arts fan, but he's from Ontario. The fight's going down in Canada, in Vancouver, and he's going to have a lot of support in the building. Listen, he made his debut on the Contender against Szymon Smaczewski. Took him out of there real quick with a guillotine choke. Knocked out Mickey Gall, a series of left hooks, and then last time out against Johan Linnaeus, a beautiful arm triangle choke at just 4 minutes into the first round. Adam Fugit's very good as well. He's 1-1 inside the UFC so far. I just think Mike Malott has got better skills. I think he's got the better submission games, and I think he's got the heavier, harder strikes. My pick for that one, Mike Malott. All right, and then before that, this was my pick for fight of the night. Dan Ige taking on Nate the Train Landwehr. Nate the Train Landwehr, I'm telling you, this man is a massive star in the making, okay? He's kind of flown under the radar. But let me tell you, when he fought David Anama in San Diego, California last year, what a show this man put on. I mean, it was a sensational fight. He was dominating the whole thing from start to finish. He had the guy on his back. He would have full mount. He would have side control. He would have dominant positions. And he would just stand up. He would just stand up and gesture to the crowd. And the crowd were losing their minds because he's an entertainer. On the microphone, he's phenomenal. Where he comes from, he has his own day, the Nate the Train day. So guys, jump on the bandwagon. The only problem is Dan Ige. Dan Ige is a real one. Dan Ige's got black belt skills. He's got knockout power, which was on display last time we saw him when he knocked out Damon Jackson. However, prior to that, he lost his last 3 to Movsar Evloev, Josh Emmett, and Chang Sung Jung. So it's going to be one of those. What is the ceiling of Nate the Train? How far can he go? Dan Ige had some tremendous wins. Edson Barbosa, one of the best ones. Of course, as I said, he knocked out his opponent in the second round last time out. But Nate the Train, he's got all the momentum. He's got cardio for days. He's got wrestling for days. He's got great stand-up. It's going to be fight of the night. Dan Ige versus Nate the Train. Fight of the night, and I said Nate the Train gets it done. There's just something about that kid. I like the way he fights. I love his personality. So maybe I'm a little bit biased. And then opening up the main card, we've got Marc-Andre Barriault taking on Eric Anders. Barriault, the power bar, last time out against Julian Marquez, put a beat down on him. The dirty boxing in the clinch, a series of uppercuts, body shots, elbows, one after the other. The referee stepped in and saved Julian Marquez from any more damage. Eric Anders, this will be a good fight. This is 2 guys that like to throw down. They're not exactly Israel Adesanya when it comes to the striking side of things, but they like to mix it up. They like to get in the pocket and they like to brawl. So it's a great fight to open the main card, but Marc-Andre Barriault, the power bar, just seems to be getting better and better. I like Eric Anders, but that's my pick, Andre Barriault. But listen, either way, it's a great fight card going down in Vancouver, Canada. Be sure to check out the channel after the fights because I'll be doing my instant reaction videos wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching. Let me know where you are in the world, by the way, in the comment section. I always love to know. Subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you soon.